Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, ladies and gents. This is Jolene with a Jewel Design, and we are back. Like I said, I was gonna do my best to do a couple videos within this pink journal and any of the other Wildflower Garden Botanical journals. These are considered semi-naked. I'm doing a little bit of design to it. I'm putting out a little bit of pockets and journal cards by making it look more pretty and giving you hopefully a month's worth of writing space in it. I think in the end we got close to 30 pages in here to write on. Even though the signature in the middle, as I promised to show you, is journal cards to write on, which is fine because you have these two cards to write on. You could put a secret message or journal thing there that if it happened to condense. But we have my instantly backed botanical card that we distressed. We have one of my Scrappy roll cards that we have a little tab on so that it does stick out at the top of the book a little bit. And it does right now just have a paper backing. So before I throw it out, I have to find the right paper to maybe enhance it so you can write on it. So one more layer does still need to go on that. But we put it in my double pocket, stackable pocket, and we did offset it a little bit to make it a little bit bigger so that this one would still sit up and above. And then this one can sit beautifully. And I did extend the pocket by using some lace pieces and some gadgets, some pretty decor pieces to like give us a little bit more room. It wouldn't fall out, but enough height where this one, hopefully when it's all said and done, will stick out a little bit. And then I went ahead over here and did a few pieces. I had some speckled textured paper that sits in my spring bunny kit. I think I think this is just in the spring bunny kit. I did something else off to the side. And I layered it with some vellum print. I made these rose pattern pieces for one of my kits. And I happened to print it on vellum. And a whole huge page of it, right? So I just layered it over it, distressed it, and just made my own little square pocket so that we could put this gorgeous large tag that's double printed. And again, you have space here to write and you have space on the card. So we don't lose the signature in the gumption of it all. So we get, I think we get all 30 pages to write on. So I went ahead and could stencil the bottom here, stencil down the side. Nice little touch to make it a sort of a middle signature without it being, super boring. So we did pockets in the middle instead of a pretty page. Okay, so I'll show you more as we go ahead, and we are going to sew this in to the signature using Gail Augustinelli's, I call it a infinity or figure 8 method. Really simple. So here's the inside. I went ahead and found I was going to use a pink colored or rose colored bag, but the inside had some more issues. And even here, I'm still waiting for glue to dry, and I'm hoping this is not going to stay stained. My fabric fusion is being temperamental. But covered it with one of my pink lace pages. Left a little bit of the bag showing and made a little pocket here. So we can stuff some things in here. And we are going to decorate the boo-boo, as you can see, because my paper ripped when I wasn't supposed to. But we're going to put a little glued down tuck here all the way around so it doesn't interfere too much with your pocket. And we can stuff things in it. Okay, we've got that. But we're going to sew this in today so that we can then do this as not just a chat and craft, or craft and chat, but we're going to do a little process video today because we are going to go ahead and sort of figure out what we're going to lay on the front of this today. Sort of see my process and how I design some of my covers. Most of the time they are layers of tissue on fabric. Do the whole Mod Podge tissue fabric thing, tissue layers on fabric. Makes a nice crunchy, really flexible, cover. This time I put fabric over a crunchy bag, right, and paper on the inside, and we're going to just sort of decorate the front really big. We got to make sure we put a grommet here before we get going. Try to punch a hole and put a circle here so that we can wrap something around to keep it closed. But I don't want to do anything back here because then that pocket gets smaller and smaller. So we don't want to make it too shallow and then nothing really fits inside it. But you never know what you can tuck in there. So we're going to start off today with trying to sew this in. I did try to get these guys sort of centered and meshed and a little bit top and bottom so that we didn't have too much going on. The pink paper is bigger than mine because when you have to trim off all that printer edge that you can't get away from. And I didn't want to cut down these. I wanted the difference. I wanted a little bit different sizes. As you can see, we did add some lace to some of those pages, and then I have some ruffles I'm going to add to a few of those pages. So I won't show you everything, but I did promise you that you get to see this if you watched my last video. When we came back, I wanted to show you how this turned out because we just started debating on how that was going to look. So I hope you're all doing wonderful today. I am videoing this on a Thursday. It is the first day of my oldest's day back to school for her sophomore year in high school. Really crazy, freaky. I'm like, no, that can't be it. And as you can see, I am using a Crafty Cat cradle to try to shove this in. I have sort of a love-hate relationship with this thing. I love it for the point for pushing it in, but when I have to go sew it back in later, I have the hardest time. I don't know why. That's just me. I don't know, because everything's at an angle when I push it in. I was used to doing it flat, but I know it helps. So I use it. I always do, and then I just struggle with it. I just fuss with it. I go, what the heck? I'm going to fuss with it. I will get it in there. And so I have to remember to sort of turn the bag, or not turn, but fold it back up when I'm trying to find all my holes. And of course, I just dropped all those needles, which is how I've been all day. I have whacked my head on my workbench here. So I'm probably going to have a slightly black eye, a little cut by my eye, because I had to hit my eye, of course. I couldn't have just like tapped my head, like bumped the bottom of my head, which I have a hair piece in my hair, so that's probably keeping me from hitting the top of my head. But no, I went to shift and smacked my eye on the edge of my workbench. I was like, oh, that's good. And I dropped pins and needles, and so probably doing this video is going to be temperamental. So, as you know, everybody has bad days. So never feel hard. Don't ever feel bad. Don't ever get hard on yourself. Now, normally Gail does 3 strips, and I think I'm going to stick to that because I do want enough left over to tie some beads and charms to the end so it runs to the bottom. I'm not going to tie a bow in the middle. I don't want it to distract from our centerpiece. I'm going to let it drop down, and we're going to have some stuff hanging from the bottom. All right. Now, I almost debated on doing 4 sections instead of 3 holes, do 5 holes, and put beads on them, but I didn't have the right beads. The beads I wanted to do this with, I did not have, and I was like, oh, or not enough of them either, so I was sort of bummed. I was going to bead the outer edge, but that's okay. Now, I sort of wish I had another color besides this, because this is cream on pink, and I don't know if we're going to hide it, so we'll see in the process if I end up putting lace on the outside to hide the work, right? Because I could not sew this in and still cover everything any other way. So get your owl, find your front and middle. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to have to put my head in here a little bit, so sorry. At least my hair is curly and pretty. But yeah, you just shove straight down until you get into her little groove of her thing. And it works really well. I try not to go too far out, half an inch to an inch from the edge. And I am going through paper and fabric. So I have to make sure, and I'll pick it up sometimes, to make sure I went through. And I do push it quite a bit through because I want to make sure I have the hardest time with my needles and getting them through. You know, I use the smallest needle I can possibly find. I definitely struggle. So, and then I'm trying to gauge on the other side. Is a little bit of guesswork. I don't measure, not on this end. If I'm doing multiple signatures, I will make a template. I have one around here somewhere. I have a piece of paper where I have a template for dots, and you know, I can use that. So, all right, so there is that. I think I went all the way through. My always worry is that I don't get it through the fabric enough, and it looks like I did. Okay, and that's the other hard part, is I'm using this and I'm trying to get that through. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it's been, let's see, I did it last week ago Sunday, or was it this Sunday? No, it was this Sunday. This past Sunday, you guys saw a video, and I'm videotaping this on Thursday. Like I said, my daughter's first day back to high school. So that's sort of cool. I know that's making sort of happy. She's looking forward to it enough. I think just having something else to do, seeing her best friends, that she's all excited about. The rest, maybe not so much. She has like world history this year, which she's not looking forward to. And she has, this is where I have the hard part, is getting it through here and all of the layers. Now if I keep it folded, nope. See, this is what I have problems with, especially if it shifts. This is where, yeah, it's great punching it one way, but now I gotta get it back through all those layers at an angle. This is where it does not, I can go layer by layer. Ugh. Yeah, this is what, I don't know why. If I go straight down with it, I seem to have no problems, but and I start decorating, of course, so there's that. And you don't want to rip everything. Like, I'm trying to stay in camera, guys. Not that that makes it any easier for anybody, but I almost have to punch the hole and try to literally feed one needle through the other. Like, sort of, as I'm pulling one out, I'm putting one in, hoping it is going to work. Right? Maybe. Nope, I can get it through the first layer and that's it. The rest of them are not staying put for me. There we go. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, I struggle. I don't know what it is. I normally just go straight down and I can seem to find it, but when I do it this way, it doesn't work for me. And I realized too, I just realized Gail normally goes bottom and then comes back up, but that's okay. All I know is you want to make sure that you pull your thread far enough away from everything to not split the thread. Definitely know that much. There we go. I think I missed a thread, so we're good. If you split the thread, there's some thin chance. Oh, there you go. You end up not being able to tighten it up. So she does this hundreds of times. She's a pro at it. She does use the cradle now. Before she just used to push into a book, which is what I did. I started to in the book, or into enough padding that I didn't worry about it. And I'm only doing this what you see me doing because I couldn't find the circle. Downside about fabric is you really can't find the hole. Here we go again. Ooh, right about that. Let's not jab that in there. Alright, so I don't want to take too much time with this, but, you know. So, yes, first day of high school. If you have kids or grandkids, maybe they're starting school, they've already started school, being it is coming up on the middle of August. Well, next week is actually literally, like, Wednesday is middle of August. So, we'll see. Let's see, can I get this tighter? Why can't I get it tighter? There we go. You definitely want to pull as tight as you can in all directions without ripping too many more holes into the process. Now I always go underneath then to sort of grab this and then just, tie. So I really want a good bottom and enough room. Yeah, I have plenty of room. Okay. Want to make sure I had enough to dangle. I double knot it to make sure. Oh, so high school started. Woohoo! Little one starts next week. Now this one, I might decide to put another thing dangle from it. We'll see. That part I'm not going to waste time with right now. But yes, I have pretty things I want to dangle on the bottom. All right. Let's see if I caught everything or if I made a complete disaster. So this one got top and bottom, I think. Nice. There's our little pretty paper. You've got your laces. We've got top and bottom of this one. Nice. Okay, so then I did add a new page. I took my lace from one of my pink kits, really bright. Well, I realized after printing this how bright and white it was, which is fine. There's a lot of cream and there's a lot of white in this kit, right? A lot of white and pink. But then again, we have a lot of things we've sort of fussied up and given it a darker feel, a little more antique-y. So before I printed the cover, this inside cover page, I did distress it a little bit. I digitally distressed it and lightened it up and fussed with it and played with it some to give it a little more to blend with the cover compared to this, which is very white, but which is okay. So this one could be pink and white, and it still went with the kit. And this is a page from Is this Ruby and Pearl? I believe it's Ruby and Pearl. She had these pretty pages with the roses from probably Graphic Fairy. And then she did this cute little sketch paste. So I just printed one of those out and put my lace page on the back just to give us that last piece. We wanted something in here because we wanted to break up all this pink, right? Pink, 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 pink. And we're like, okay, I have to have something in here. Now, it's a little harder to write on. You could write in areas of this. You could, even with a good black pen, a little thicker that wouldn't bleed through, write on this. Or glue a piece of vintage ledger paper to this one, and you could use it as a journal space. So it has room to decor and still make it a writing space. So that was made it a little $28.30 for the month for writing. So there you go. So it looks like everything is in place. I've got ups and downs. I don't have a lot of perfect, which is great. I was able to add this. Oh, cute, right? Little last minute belly band on the back since we had something on the front. So I tried to even it out. So since we had, you know, a pocket here, we have a belly band back here with one of my last cards that was pink, more butterflies, layered up as intended off the spring butterfly kit. So, just, you know, so it's even in that sense where we have a little front and back and one in the middle, and the rest is naked for you to decorate and or write all over it. You have almost 30 journal pages to write on. And that was sort of the whole point. It was to give this some oomph and give you something to play with. So last but not least on the inside here, before we get to the front, because I really don't know what we're doing with the front. No, I can't say that. I have an idea of what we're doing on the front. I've got pieces, so you're going to watch me decide, look it through, and you can always comment if I end up with a or B option. You can always comment in the down below. Since I don't think I'm gluing anything down today, we'll see how it goes. We have to keep an eye on the time too, and go from there. So I wanted to add cute little ribbon. Whoops, backwards. That doesn't help. Thought there was something on it. These cute little ribbon tafts to some of the pages here. And so if I cut it here, I have both sides going. So we're gonna do this right here, and we're gonna glue that one down there. That'd be cute on the that. And we're going to glue, I think we're going to do both inside ones, just because, you know. And then this one, we're going to do a little different. We're going to do a little bit of a, there we go. A little longer, a little different. And then we have 3 with a little tab. This has 4, and it's uneven and messy, which always works. So, there we go. We're going to do a little bit of that on each end. Nope, that's not even. I'm like, wait a minute, no. I don't want that one there, and there we go. So I go, wait, that doesn't look right. So let's glue them down before I forget. I know that one's right, and then I gotta do the other one over there. I'm like, right side, but wrong page. And my fabric fusion today is being very temperamental. It did not want to work earlier when I was working on the cover. So what are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We are, like I said, coming slowly to the middle of August. This video might air tonight at Thursday. But 10 to 1, the way my day is going, I would expect it's going to be a Friday afternoon, or even a Saturday morning video for you guys. I'm like, the 6 o'clock worked really well on Sunday. I appreciate it. You guys, I had so many views. I'm really hoping you guys were happy to see me come back, that what I did was entertaining, that you are like, oh, cool, this is, you know, this works. This is what you're up to. Awesome. Really hoping that it was beneficial. And that, you know, the process of this here, just finishing up. I know as we get going, that unless I do something really, like I said, really interesting or fancy with the sections of the other journals, you won't see as much of each journal. We just happen to start with the pink one, and this is what, you know, you get to see the process of this one. So we are doing the 2 inner lace pieces. The outer laces we'll leave by themselves. We'll do the inner ones, inner lace pieces with these little ruffles. Because that's, you know, I like to find balance if I can help it. I have to have a rhyme and reason in my head when I do these things, like why am I putting it here, or why did I sew it that way, and can I feel like it makes sense and doesn't like seem haphazard. Like I cannot handle the haphazard, like just throw it on there and not care. Like I can't. I know it's a junk journal. Well, they were considered junk journals. This is, I'm not considering a journal because it's pretty and it's a semi-naked journal. I don't have a lot of, the only junk or thing that are upcycling is the beige, not the beige, the sort of rose-colored bag, right? the rose-colored bag that's in here to give us our crunchy noise is something I'm upcycling, right? Or I'm recycling by using it as our middle section. And then, you know, you can sort of see it here. That reminds me, let's get that glued down. You can just sort of see it a little bit. You know it's there. You can hear it, which is awesome. But I know there's all these great things on the back that we're not going to get to see, but that's okay. You know, so I am using something in that sense. But everything else, I think, is, you know, brand new. It's a digital. It's digital. It could be a Happy Mail piece that was given to me. It could be part of a kit. Like I bought a pink dyed kit of all kinds of things pink, which I couldn't wait to use because I knew they were going to go with this. And I have it flat enough, like I said, we can still get something in here. The goal is to put, if I can find anything just to see, is for us to put papers, notebooks, like you put a little notebook in here. It's tucked well enough. If you put something small enough, it might actually work. So the goal is to give you a little bit more tuck space. If you decide to add extra pages or want to add a little more to this, you have the ability to do so. Now I just got to get this to stick. The fabric and the fabric fusion is definitely being temperamental. I know I'm using the glitter glue right now because most of it's paper on paper. And I'm just needing it to stick. And I know because of what we're doing, and this is going to go across things, we want to make sure this is all really flat. I have this as glued down as possible so that we don't catch something and rip it if you're putting stuff in and out of the pocket. This is the only thing you have to worry about. And it's not the end of the world if it comes off or it doesn't quite stick where it's supposed to. It's like, yeah, we can get around it, right? Okay, so that's super cute in the back. Has a little potential because the back's got to have nothing unless there's lace that overlaps. So we have to decide if I want to hide this depending on what's going on. So there's the front. And right now I've got nothing going on right here. Doesn't mean it'll stay that way. I don't know. Since we have the pocket sort of back here and decorated, I might want to put some kind of pocket in the front so that you guys can stick whatever you want in it. But I'm not going to fill it with anything. The goal here is to really give you writing space with a few cards to play with. That came out of the Botanical or this. So yeah, I'm really loving that little bit of green. I'm loving the green with the pink, especially in all the photos I've been doing. Like, I just love the combination. So you have your tab of bloom. You have some string sticking out up here. So we're just about good on that end. And like, I'm going to put these cute charms that I have here. They are little rock charms that would not work on the edge here. I was hoping they are very much like for bracelets, or in this case for the bottom. So I will plop them up and tie it to where they're just below the journal. And we have fun little things to go with it. So yeah, that is my do off camera. We don't need to worry about that right now. That's just simply putting it up, knotting it in between or at the bottom and having it stay on there. So here's what we have to play with. I am putting corners on these too, just to clean up the look of the book. We are putting the Tim Holtz corners, and I think these are down to the bronzy ones, which I'm okay with because I don't think I want bright gold, but I don't want silver because there is those hints of antique within the embossing. There's hints of the antique within, you know, the middle here. And we might try, and that's what we're going to do after the side today, is stenciling onto the fabric to give some more texture on this. Maybe not the back side, but definitely the front. And I have fabric to play with. So we're going to try that too. But we'll see. All right, so my biggest thing, and I started working on, was this. This was going to be my main piece, right? We know we have to still put a grommet here. So I got to make sure that I line things up just to the edge of that stitch line. Okay? So there's that. Now this is not flat. And this is the only thing that's killing me. Let's see. I wonder if I can do this. I knew if I didn't sew it in, though, I would destroy the front. So I didn't want it. There we go. We'll do it this way. Let me turn it a little bit. Make sure we have room. And I'm glad I'm videotaping this because what will happen is I'll forget later, especially if I don't glue everything down, what we decided on. So I can go back and look, right? So this is my main piece. This is something I definitely wanted, and I knew I wanted on here. Now we have another piece of scrap that I thought would be great as sort of a part of our center, whatever. And I'm going to have to tear that because it's definitely, yeah. I just didn't know how much paper I was going to do on this cover. Now, we could put this in the middle. Sort of helps hide some of the stitch work, but it is paper. On fabric, it might not stay. Might have to cut an element off. We'll see. So this is where we were just going to be playing today, and I had to figure out how much I wanted to put on here, what needed to be worked on, how far are we off. The biggest thing for this one, besides the potential of this pink lace, which I couldn't decide to go between top or bottom, because I really wanted to add this lacy bit. You know, we might not need any, the way I'm all said and done, I don't want to put the lace across the top like a curtain, which I could go all the way across with, so the front and back at least had that consistency. Do you curtain it, or do you border it? Ah, see, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we need to know. This is what I need to tell me what you think. I'm going to look at the camera here in a moment to make sure I am not off camera, because that would suck after all of this, right? Do we curtain it? Where am I? Oh, I'm barely. Okay, it shifted when I wasn't looking. Let's do that. Let's see how we're doing. I want to make sure you guys are in camera, because no fun if you guys can't see what the heck I'm doing. Okay, I'm already 26 minutes in. So yeah, just under 30 minutes, we need to do this. So, do we curtain it across the bottom all the way? But you really can't see, if I do that up here, like you can't see the curtain parts. Like I almost, like you can't see it. So I almost want to do that. So you can see the ripple on the bottom. That can be here. Is it too much? Like I feel like we're doing too many things. Oof. I wanted the roses. And I wanted this. But maybe not this. And I still have more flowers to add. So I'm wondering if I need to rip some stuff. Yeah, smaller piece. And then I have, so the thing is, all the pinks out of these guys are going on here too. I was going to cluster, a big old cluster. So I'm wondering, yeah, see, so many fun things, right? So many fun things. We have the small one. I got to get, and there's a lot of pink, and I don't know whether to add any other colors or not. I know we have greens and some blues in the inside, so I can add some. Give me that. Because I was going to do this huge, just like massive floral front. If this was going to be a huge hardcover book, all the colors were going to go on the front of it, because of course all of the colors were inside the journal. Now I get to pull it apart and do the blue and orange together, and do, you know, certain colors together. I have the purple, the yellow, I have the blue, the orange, you know. Now this is definitely a different pink. I'm thinking more this one, but I could add those. I mean, it doesn't really, but I don't know. This is where I have to decide how much we want to break up. You know, all of pink. It is definitely a pink journal. There is no question about it. So with that comes the fact that there are, you know, a lot of pink. I'd like to get more green in here, but I don't have any green I don't have any green flowers. They didn't, none of the kits came with anything really green, which, oh, I need the pink stuff. I might drop the, God, I'm so tempted. I keep whacking myself, so let's not hurt myself here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want in the comments, I want to know what you're up to. I know you watch, and I appreciate that so much, but I would love a conversation. What are you working on? Tell me what you're working on. Tell me where you're showing it off. Let me know. Are you showing your newest kits on, or newest creations on, you know, Instagram? Are you showing your newer kits on Facebook? We got to follow each other. We need to support each other. We need to, like, I don't know, you know, we need to share. I don't really want links per se, but if you let me know who you are, where you share your stuff, and then, of course, you know, I want to go look at it. I want to follow it. I want to share it, follow it, and then, you know, maybe I can turn around and share it. Let me, you know, go, hey, this person has a really awesome whatever. Of course, if you don't share, that's okay. I know some people do not, they make lots of things, but aren't able to get it up on anything. So that's not bad to put in those colors to pull more pink from that. But I still need, I need to rip this one. This one, it needs to be smaller. I think the purple is throwing me off. It's actually too long. So I'm just going to rip it across here. And we need to rip it a little bit up here because I want ripped edges. I want that by hand, I guess. I'm like, by hand, we're going to rip it because it is not stable enough to do what I want it to do. And because we're not using it as a card, I can totally, and we do the really crazy rip side over there, it's fine. And then I can use it elsewhere. But I want that green. I definitely feel like we need to have some of that color in there. All right, so what if we, now you know it makes this book where, you know, you go to open it, to write on it, you're going to be really careful. That might be the only downside. I feel like this is too big. Like that's just too big of an element. I know we already have big elements, so maybe that third one is just too much. I've got the paper there, but that almost looks too simplified. I don't know. This is where I'm like, I did want a really big chunk of floral. I really wanted a very heavily decorated contraption. Now I have another heart. I do have a small heart. If that seemed smaller and more like doable. A little off-centered, a little that. Do we go more up the side? So this is where I get the oohs and ahs and don't know what to do. Because I could go 50 ways to Sunday. I could decide all kinds of different ways, right? And it's all about the balance, of course, and all about whether or not which again, I'm going to say I'm really glad I'm on camera. And these things got squished. Like they just get squished in the store. So then you're trying to rework it. So maybe do that and that there. We're down here. You want sizes. You almost want sets of 3. Like 3's here, but I only have 2 up here. So maybe it's another one of these. So we keep, and right now, if you notice, I'm keeping the stems to these 1 sets just to see if it makes it any easier. Flattening them out a little bit, but I'm trying to utilize that. Downside is when you move one thing, everything moves with it. So what if we do that? We have set of 3 here, set of 3 here. I know it's 2 sets, but then you have this whole long one. We have this across the bottom, which I think I'm going to all the way across, but this is really bugging me that might show. So we'll see. I may stop at a point and center it, but I hear a delivery truck. Let's see. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think with the lace in this applique, I don't think a doily works. I think I need paper. I need like piano paper or, whoops, that's tore. I need something else. I need something else for texture that isn't going to be too far-fetched. And that's too far-fetched. I found this, and I'm like, oh, sure, let me just put that in there and throw the whole thing for a loop. But it's a little country, and this is not country. This is pretty and floral and shabby. So I had, hold on, I see I have music paper that I used inside, which I'll get all the pieces off, but music paper, I probably have non-digital music paper, but let's see, we can rip it, tweak it, rip it up, rip it across in here. I don't know if paper is the right thing. I'm wondering if this is just not a paper ordeal. Like this is something that, see, that makes it really pretty if we don't use paper. I need fabric, I need texture. This has to be real texture. So, the other thing we could do is leave that standing, and I could, I love this. This came in, I bought this actually. Somebody was selling it. Now, it doesn't go all the way across, but that's not a bad thing. Glue it here, glue it here. I could leave it as an open lace pocket in the back. That's a thought, right? If you want to slip a little something in here, if I glue it here and I glue it here and I glue it tight here on the spine, we could do that. Right now, it's like you almost get a piece of paper, right? And where's my white something piece of paper? Need something to block what we're going. Okay, so we were just looking at the front. There we go. I need to see what it looks like. We're getting there, people. I think we're in the right track. I think the paper threw it off. It took away from some of the deal. So the only thing I got left is whether I want to stress de-stress, which I can use these things for other projects, is whether or not we can even stamp this. If this is even stampable. If it's stampable, I could put, carefully, hints of texture on this with the roses behind it. So that is the next possibility. But I think we're getting there. I really do. I think we're almost there. We've got the clusters. We've got this gorgeous, I love this applique here on the rose colored. I know the rose is a little antique-y for the inside. Things are definitely white on a lot of things. It's hard with the paper. I may go back and decide to stress the edge of each page. I don't know. It's a lot of work. I've done it. I have a huge autumn book that I did that for. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I like this, and I like the idea of the lace pocket on the backside. If we, glue it down. I really wish I could. This is the hard part. If you'd known, you would have sewn it in. Can't do that. That's okay. So we'll just glue it down really good, right? And it'll be the pocket, and I'll just decide if I need to trim it in any way, or border it somehow to keep it really intact. We'll find a way to finish that off, the edges off. That is the only other thing I could do, is put some kind of ribbon border top and bottom to have a more finished look. Again, how's that look on the front? Top and bottom. I don't have enough. Wow, how rude. I don't have enough to do that. Never mind. I mean, I could do it on one end, but like if I can do top and bottom here. If I do the diamond ribbon cut, I could border it top and bottom to give it more of a pocketed feel on the back. But it's not something that stops dead. It has a nice zigzag or nice chevron, and that might work. No. Yeah, no, that just throws the whole thing off. Like, yep, no blue in there. If it was green, maybe. If I had a couple greens to add in there, I love the green leaves. That does help. And that makes all the difference in the world. So anyway, we have the potential of this to border it. I have pink lace, or pink mesh. I have this too, if I just wanted something shiny. But it doesn't really border it. It just sort of keeps it shiny on the front, which is sort of pretty. And I'd want it underneath. But it doesn't really border the edge to make it a nice clean pocket. And usually you'd go all three sides, and that's too hard to do. I take a chance of it being bunched up. So, okay, so we'll see. Once I get it glued down, so I'm not cutting anything, we sort of hide the seam. We make a lace pocket on the back of the book. So if you want to tuck a little something in there, you could. And all we have to decide now is whether or not, and I'll level that out. Hard part is just getting it straight. I'm going to have to go past it and cut it up once it's glued down. Line it up, trim the bottom, trim the top, making sure that this is straight up and down. Because right now it's not, they didn't cut the edge straight. So I've got to try to measure that out just a little bit and get a nice clean straight up and down. All right, last but not least, and then I'll let you guys go, and you'll just have to wait for the full reveal of this when I'm done and see how it turned out. I will do on the next, I'll probably do a quick flip through video before I put up for sale when I finally finish every last little thing I could possibly finish on this, because there's bound to be something else I need to do, right? There always is. There's always something you need to do. Let's test this out and see if it's even possible. Sorry about the hair and the reach. Let's see with my brushes if we can even get any kind of imprint on this with the ink. It does. I just gotta be careful of the outer edges. Like that's where I have to be really careful. But I can really put paper around to make sure I don't do that again. But even at the light edges are fine. We can do just the roses, I think. Well, we do both. I mean, I can barely go across it, and it's really pale. Or we know that if I really ink it, I can really get quite a bit, I think, on it, which is awesome. So there we go. I can go from really inked to barely inked, and we have some dimensions. So I'm wondering if even if we just go off the edge here, like even if I just do a faux, I'm doing a large a large, like sort of shadowing this, doing a large, and if you're, maybe not a large, this size, we won't go any bigger than these. We're going to do big and little, sort of speckled out of the distressed roses on this to give some more texture. And I might do the whole thing. I wonder if I just lightly pattern it, not even pattern it, but sporadically, lightly add roses of the different sizes up and down, and to give you some texture to this side, so it's not so flat, and that might be really cool. Instead of doing all the, I don't have any of the fun, like, what is it called? The stucco stuff, whatever, you know, the white stuff that sort of are hard, it's sort of like a cementy glue thing. People will, it's not stencil, stucco or something like that. Anyway, reminds me of stucco, yeah, reminds me of stucco. But they do, you know, that kind of thing on journaling and pages and happy planners and whatever. There's all kinds of people out there who use it. Anyway, but yeah, I don't have any of that. So I have nothing to stencil, stucco, glitter. I can put some glitter glue down and brush it with glitter, which I may still do. That'd be funny. That'd be fun too, to hit some of these elements in between where it's not colored. Add some iridescent glitter to it. So maybe we'll do that too. So that'll be fun. I don't have my iridescent glitter nearby, of course. So, okay, but I mentioned it. I will go get it next. And I'll go grab that next. And we'll see if that's potential. That might very well be. I used to have it right here by my side. I used to have all my glitters by my side. I only had a few. Now I have a whole container of them. It's unreal. So, all right, guys. This is it. This is sort of my process video of putting a cover together. You got to see the inside as promised. If you don't know what I was talking about, you can go watch my last video, which I'll connect here at the end, so you can see the ephemera that we worked on, the pockets and the slotted paint sample pocket, and the beginning process, of course, of that double stacked corner envelope that's in the middle. But you'll just have to come back for a quick reveal here in probably about another week. I will do a quick reveal of this before I put it up for sale. And then there'll be a reveal here shortly of the newest, or both autumn kits. I have the newest one almost finished. So will be up shortly too. So I have some shorter videos coming up, which is always wonderful. You don't always have to be long in 1 hour with me. But I appreciate all your watches, your views, your comments. Please comment. And your likes and loves, because it lets me know that you are there, and I'm so glad you are viewing it, and that hopefully it inspires something, triggers something, gives you an idea about something, because that's what the whole point of being here for, right, is to inspire and to encourage and to cheer each other on as we have our creative moments. And if you can't create it, or don't have time, or love these things but it's not up your alley, then it's the ability to purchase them when we're done, whether it's digital or handmade, as this one is, with digital kits. With a digital kit, I handmade you a journal, and if that's what you need, then hopefully, supporting a small business works for everybody. So thank you so much for joining me. No, I know I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to put on. Nope, I know not to. Let's not. I think we're on the right track. But comment if you think there's anything we should do I didn't think about. Please let me know. Please bring it to my attention. I'm not going to be quick, of course, to glue this down just yet. I don't think. I do have some things to do today. I can't even keep going right now. But we're going to keep playing, and so I'm going to keep playing with the stamps to make sure I'm really happy with this inking the stencils before I do it, because once I do it, I can't undo it. And I hate to have to ruin a whole, piece of fabric for nothing. So we will make do, though, right? As Gail says, everything can be fixed. It can be fixed. It can be covered. It can be done. We'll find a way. So thank you again for liking, loving, commenting, and viewing. Whether you found me by mistake or you've been watching for some time, I really appreciate it all. Please comment put it down in the comments what you've been up to, what you're working on, and where you're sharing it, so we all can go find it and love and like it. And any ideas or things you saw me play with or work on, and you think I was on the right track, let me know. Otherwise, we will reveal the end result of this lovely journal, hopefully within the next week. So look for that. Look for my autumn kits that are about to reveal here shortly. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Love you all. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.